Thank you very much. You are welcome to this webinar, and I want to thank the organizer, the NMGS, my own branch, that has given me this opportunity to speak on the topic, COMEG, laying the modern foundation, the journey so far. I also want to appreciate our leaders in NMGS for giving back to a branch like Ibadan that is doing wonderfully well. I'm going to talk on historical background of COMEG, the function of the council, COMEG as a regulatory, the apex regulator in the extractive industry. Then from there, I'll go quickly to mention some of the new innovations that we developed to be able to put COMEG on a sound footing. What we call the model. That does not mean there's no foundation on ground. We met foundation on ground, but we are ready to build on it, and that's what we are doing. Now back to the lecture itself. Historical background of COMEG. Nigerian Mining and Geoscience Society pioneered the establishment of COMEG. That would be my first statement. And NMGS, as the parent, was founded in 1961. And 20 years after, or thereabout, there was the need, urgent need for a regulator industry. So in 1983, one of our NMGS president,
Dr. Dada, please mute all the participants, please.
Dr. Matthew Okodile introduced a draft document titled Legislation on Council for Registration and Practice of the Earth Science. The Council of NMGS now bought to that idea and set up a committee headed by Professor Emmanuel Fayose. And the committee received memoranda from our members all over the country. And a review committee headed by Alaji Unuwa Gombe, one of our elders, and Chivemo Feyide was also submitted for review. And then the document was passed to Alaji Riwan Lukman, the then Minister of Mines and Power and Steel in 1985, to come up with a name title, the Council of Nigerian Mining and Geoscience Society. However, since that name also like mimic the name of NMGS, there was the need to change the name. And it was adjusted to read Council of Nigerian Mining Engineers and Geoscientists. And then it became a decree, number 40 of 1990, precisely 31st of December, as assented to by General Ibrahim Babangida, then head of state. We have had 3 substantive registrars today. The other have been in acting position. We have Mr. Ikiako, that was the first substantive registrar. After him, we also have Mr. Engineer Bugaje, who became the second substantive registrar of COMEG. Thereafter, we have acting registrar. I don't want to go into that. And of course, finally, when you have myself as the 3rd substantive registrar of council. So what are the functions of this council? As escapulated in part 1, section 2 of the COMEG Act number 40 of 1990. When? To prescribe and enforce the minimum standard of education and experience to be obtained by persons qualified to practice as registered mining engineers, geoscientists, and other professionals. 2, prescribe and enforce the code of conduct of registered mining engineers, geoscientists, and other professionals. 3, secure the establishment and maintenance of registers of persons entitled to practice as mining engineers, geoscientists, and related professions, and review the standards from time to time as circumstances may require. Number 4, regulates and control the practice of mining engineering, geoscientists, and related professions in all aspects and ramifications. And finally, to maintain discipline in the profession in accordance with the acts. COMEG is the apex regulatory agency in the Nigerian extractive industry. Not only apex, it's the only one. And for what? To do what? The instrument establishing the council as an agency was instituted to drive government policy for the regulation and development of the practice of the profession associated with exploration, extraction, refining of the vital minerals of the nation for the benefits of people. And these resources include, but not limited to, solid minerals, metal minerals, water, well, and oil and gas. And over the year, the council has been working assiduously to achieve these objectives. The council faced numerous challenges, especially when it comes to taking off, because up to now, we are still facing some of those challenges. But notwithstanding, we have taken the ball by the horn and decided to move on, challenges or no challenges, because we strongly believe that challenges are part of life. And when the challenges are, you overcome the challenges, it makes the work of the world at large to be meaningful. And on that note, when I took up the mantle of leadership, together with the council that we had, that are very composed of experienced geoscientists and mining engineers, we set the ball rolling. And we were able to influence the staff to an extent that the key into the vision that was brought on board, that has led to what we call now modern foundation for the growth of COMEG. And what we are discussing today is the journey so far. How has it been? What are the innovations that have been brought on board? And what can we do more to be able to achieve the desired aim, the desired objectives as laid out by the founding father of NMGS and founding father of COMEG. In our own little way, I will mention about 13 to 14 things that we have done in cooperation with our members all over the country. Most especially our COMEG members that are up to date in the payment of their dues. I salute you wherever you are, because you have helped us to this day. And some of us will like to sit down and complain, waiting for things to come. Those of you that have been paying your due, you have made this presentation possible. And I want to encourage others to also have faith in our only regulator to be able to achieve our desired aim as we practice as geoscientists and mining engineers. The first thing that we did was to improve revenue generation through debt recovery. When I assumed duty of 1st of June 2020, a month or thereabout after, we discovered that the revenue was not the way it was supposed to be. The payment was absolutely poor. And then we cannot move with this poor performance. And as at 31st May 2020, a day before my assumption of duty, The payment from January to date for that year shows that only 11 people out of 3,000 people have paid their annual due. And only 2 institutional members did the same. COVID-19 was a good and wonderful excuse. But that does not stop us. We introduced some strategy to stem this trend. And said, no, we can't move on like this. With outstanding 260 million, as at that time, about 260 million from individual, and close to, I think almost 15 to 20 million from corporation. And we developed a product to be able to encourage our member to do the needful. And so we target the second half of that year when I assumed it. From 1st January to that 1st May, what came into COMEG through TSA, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, in table 1, which I call 5A, is 700,000 naira only. And the excuse was COVID-19. COVID-19 did not prevent our member from transferring money. All the bank network were working, but it was a good excuse for people because they said they couldn't work, they couldn't go to the field. And so when we develop our products, by 31st December, the next 7 months, I'm happy to report, as you can see, we moved from 700,000 to 8,509,000 naira only for 7 months of 2020. 1st January to December 2021, a whole year, we move on to almost 10 million, 9,587,000. This year, 5 months, 1st January to 31st May, what we have is 7,286,000 naira only, payment through TSA. That is the figure as we are now. You can imagine what is supposed to be and what will be by December. So the staff have been working around the clock to be able to see that we double our revenue. COMEG member recognition. That is the second innovation. We have been inundated with complaints from our members all over the country, especially our member working in water basin development authorities. Our member working in civil service in 36 states of Nigeria. Our member working in polytechnics and universities. That unlike Koren and Akon, we are not recognized. Our promotion is not the way it's supposed to be. Registrar, what do we do? We took this to council, and council directed that we should do all that is necessary to make sure that the council of establishment recognize our members. So what do? We wrote a letter to the minister that is a problem. Please approve that we should go on to get recognized by council and establishment. And he said, okay, work with the director of PRS to achieve this laudable objective. We didn't stop there. We also moved quickly to attend the Council of Settlement meeting that was held in Abuja here, about around February this year, and to learn the modus operandi of how memos are taken at council. We didn't stop there. We needed contact and approached the permanent secretary of our ministry, who happened to be a very close friend of the head of service. And when we were presenting our paper at the filler during the FEC meeting, our paper was scale of fees for approval. It was an opportunity for me to meet the head of service of the head of service of the Federation for the first time. And we started discussing. And then what do? They said, your paper to scale through. You have to get us the figures of your members. We want to know your strength. We want to know how many of you are working with federal, state, and local government. and if possible, some of them that are scattered across private industry. But the data they need the most is the one in federal, the one they are working federal, state, and local government. So that when they meet, they will be able to see the strength of this particular professional body who want to be registered. I will start the necessary machinery in motion. And ladies and gentlemen, my listener, to date, we have been able to distribute close to 200 letters across the length and breadth of Nigeria. And the one that is of interest to you now is that as of today, we have distributed close to 35 letters to head of service in different states in Nigeria. The one that is left is that of Kwara State. That of Kogi State was given yesterday to raise the figure from 35 to 35. Because our member is right now in Kogi State distributing our letter. He will move to Kwara State tomorrow. That's how far we have gone. So as soon as those letters comes in through the permanent secretary of our ministry who wrote the letter, because it's always good to go through that means of distribution of letter, rather than COMEG itself taking the bull by the horn and distributing letter. No, the ministry is more recognized by COMEG. So seeing the signature of the permanent secretary in our ministry and the approval of the minister become easier for them. So actually send us the data. The deadline is 31st of August. In distributing the letter, we also wanted to hand over these products to our member. And we said all the branches should be involved of NMGS. And I'm happy to report that they play a crucial role and they are still playing to make sure that those data are collected. And by September, when they have all the inputs, then of course you will expect that we are going to submit wonderful documents to the Council on Establishment, latest October this year. And of course, in the course of distributing the letters, some of our staff, COMEG staff, were so smart. And they took pictures with head of service, discussed with them, and some of them agreed to sponsor us. So you are going to see a document when the time comes. And we pray and we are appealing to our members, especially the chairman of our branches, NMGS, that we should gather the data so that we're using one stone to kill so many birds. And then we'll be able to now compare and contrast. Number 3, introduction of executive registration rule. When I assume duty, when you submit your letter or form in January of any year or February, it will be processed. If you are due for exam, you write the exam. And we notice that you now do your exam around October, once a year. There was not even a fixed day for exam. And then you wait till December when you are inducted to collect your certificate. We discovered that no, this couldn't work. In modern days Nigeria, no. The government's drive to get investors through ease of doing business was compromised through this method. And we went to council. We said, council, no, we can't continue like this. Can we have another route for some of our members that have reached the peak of their profession so that they can easily, we can identify them, we can do oral interview for them, either by Zoom during COVID-19, even up to now, and or some of them that are nearby, we can do 1 hour interview for them, and then they will pay for it. And I'm happy to report that we have had costs to interview people from extractive industry, vice chancellors, rectors, professors, director general, permanent secretaries, and managers, notable managers. And we have given them their certificate. They are still on my table now that we are working. Number 4, review of COMEG Act. When we got on board, we noticed that the COMEG Act, as it is, 30 years old, cannot meet the expectation of our members. So we said the necessary machinery in motion to review the act as expected and as required. We send a memo to council. The council We sent a memo to the minister who said, go ahead and review it together with other legislation and work with the director of legal. And so we set up a committee headed by Professor Abam, CKS Abam, and other notable members of NMGS and COMEG. Some of our staff happen to be on board to work on the secretariat. 2 minutes.
Hello, sir. The network seems to be bad from the speaker's end. Thank you, sir.
Hello, are you hearing me?
Yeah, we can hear you now, sir. Carry on, sir.
Now.
Okay, the thing was saying connecting, internet. So I'm on review of COMEG Act.
All right.
Committee was set up, either Professor TK Sabam, and then we have notable members that cut across mining, water resources, geosciences, geophysics, geology, etc. And the input was approved by COMEG Council, approved by NMGS Council, and then was forwarded to Honorable Minister. And I'm happy to report that the last stakeholder meeting will be held on Tuesday, 5th and Wednesday, July 2022 at Rockview Hotel, Abuja, for final input into the draft before it goes to the Federal Ministry of Justice through Legal Department of MMSD. And after that, we will now go to National Assembly. I should let our member know that this stakeholder meeting will bring our other professional bodies, our competitor, if I can call it, on board. So we have sent letter to them, NSC, UREN, and other relevant professional bodies, so that we don't go to National Assembly, start to disagree. That's what we have done. I want to thank the ministry, the Honorable Minister in particular, our Permanent Secretary, Dr. Oluwatoyin Akilade, for supporting COMEG by releasing millions of naira to do this exercise. So it's not enough, but we are grateful. When we take little today, we take more tomorrow. Number 5, COMEG mandatory professional exam. As I've started before, the issue of the examination was not decentralized before I assumed duty. The first exam that was held under my leadership was October 2020. And we decided to hold the exam in 5 centers all over Nigeria. And of course, it was a success because the COVID-19 was just staring us in the face as a nation. I remember traveled to Kaduna, 2 centers in Abuja, Lagos 1 center, Port Harcourt 1 center. And of course, the return is as shown in table 2. The performance, the statistical performance of our member is as shown in the table 2. For Abuja, Lagos, Port Harcourt, and Kaduna Center. You will notice that the median score for 2020 is 50% to 59%, with 47 students, or 36% having that particular score for that year. The next one is above that, 60 to 69%, which represents about 30% of the student. So if you add 30% to 36%, 67% of our members scored between 50 and 69% in that exam. So it was not bad at all. It was not bad. That's for general paper. For geoscience paper, for that year, the median score happened to be the same 50 to 59%. Unfortunately, followed by 40 to 49%, representing 38 number students, or 33%. So the median score for the geoscience paper is 33 plus 37, that gives you 7%. That is from 40 to 59%. For 2021, for the paper as a whole, sorry, I omitted that in 2022, you have 60 to 69% as the median score. 80 students out of 162 students scored that particular month. And that is followed by 70 to 79%. 70 to 79%. So in all for this year, I'm not going to the general paper and the science paper. For that year, we have about 76% of the students scoring between 60 and 79%. And it will get better because they have access to our past questions and they study them more. The next one is professional scale of fees for mining engineers and geoscientists. These are our major star products. Major star products. There was none when I assumed duty. We approached council. I said, no, we can't go on like this. Korean has its own, Akon has its own. The Pharmaceutical Council has its own. Nigerian Medical and Dental Council has their own. And the council said, go ahead. We wrote to the minister, I said, I'm with you. I'm an architect. I know we have our own. You should have your own. So we said the nursing machinery in motion. A committee was set up, headed by Professor P.K.S. Adam and Abba. A few others. And we came up with a wonderful document that was submitted to council. And in all this, we had the support of NMGS president, who happened to be a professional to the core. And he gave us great inputs that make it to be a success. At short notice, he will be in Abuja, whether COMEG pay him or not. So I want to acknowledge him right here. Engineer Ukop did wonderfully well as well. I want to acknowledge him. And the thing went to council. And I attended, going to Federal Executive Council for the first time in my life. I was at the filler with the Honorable Minister. I was at the filler with BAMSEC. In fact, I was there, I met the head of service of the Federation. So during that particular period, we also do COVID-19 test to compulsory COVID-19 test to, you can imagine, nobody forced me to do it. I did my job, I took my job, but no COVID-19 test. And it was my turn. They punched it into my nose. My God, have mercy. We got to control. So we have our professional, the letter.
Hello, sir. We are no longer hearing you. Thank you, sir.
That's the network from his end. I just dropped a message to his boss.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can hear you now, sir.
Okay, are you hearing me now?
Yes, sir. Went off. So we
Please
can
go
hear you
ahead,
now.
sir.
I'm back online, oh.
Please go ahead.
Please show that letter. The letter was not our scale of fees, so that we should know that you are hearing me. Yes, that's the letter. And this scale of fee will be launched on the 5th at Rockview Hotel, Abuja, by the Honorable Minister, Architect Olamilekan Adegbite. And then we have access to a copy. We are preparing that for a token, so that you can pick it up and can be using it. Why do we do that? Members have been requesting for the scale of this. That of current is in circulation. So we are preparing our own.
Hello, sir. It's like the network is bad again.
Hello, are you hearing me? Hello?
Please go ahead, sir.
Are you hearing me now? Are you hearing me now?
Please go ahead, yes, sir.
Yes, I'm on accreditation. Yes, I'm on accreditation.
Okay.
Now I said accreditation was dead when I assumed duty. They did it last 10 years before 2020. When I say, what do? We got permission from council. We got permission from the minister. And then we set the nursing machinery in motion. Don't forget, accreditation is peer review activity. So we got the support of one of us who has been involved in current accreditation, Engineer, and he worked well with us. We were able to go around the 3 zones in the south first, based on fund limitation. And we came back and we set up a committee of experts, former Vice Chancellor, our notable member, Professor Idowu Olayinka, was the chairman of that committee on behalf of council. Professor Mosu Ono was on board. Professor Dada was on board. Professor T.K. Zabam was on board. Dr. Damisa for mining was on board. And they reviewed the program, advised council, and the council approved the accreditation status of all the programs we visited in Southwest, South, and Southeast of Nigeria, where we visited 20 institutions that were willing to receive us, and we accredited about 30 programs. And I'm going to report here, some of them have not known the accreditation status. That's why I didn't put on board, but they all passed. And we have full accreditation, and we have some with interim accreditation. The certificate will be ready as soon as our certificate are printed by Nigeria Security and Printing Organization. They are the ones dealing us. The list is in table 4. Lagdo Akintola University of Technology, Delta State University, Mountain Top, Obafemi Awolowo Adekunle Ajayi University of Lagos, Futa Akure, Ajayi Crowder, River State, University of Nigeria, Nsukka, Gregory University, Ekiti State University, of State University, Ebonyi State University, University of Ibadan, University of Port Harcourt, Crawford University, President State Training Institute, Federal Polytechnic at Ekiti. Some refuse to acknowledge our letter. Afe Babalola is one of them. When we publish in the newspaper, we know what to do with such institutions. Then 2022 COMEG accreditation, we have sent letter to all the universities in North Central, dispatch, I think early this month, so last week. to North Central and Northwest. There are about 35 programs, no, 35 institutions with almost 40 programs in this location. Abubakar Talewa Bauchi, Modibo Adamawa, Bauchi State University, Adamawa State University, COMEG, Federal University Kasare, University of Maiduguri, Federal University Lokoja, University of Ibadan, Salem University Lokoja, Zamfara State, Federal University Guzo, Kaduna State University, Fonda University, Nuru Bamari Polytechnic. All of them have received our letter by now. We are aware of our strike, but we are proactive. We know we gave them up to August to return our questionnaire. Then we can easily know when to go and visit them before the end of the year. I'm on number 8, COMEG digital stamp. This one has been in the news for long. When I assume duty, it is still old Meta digital stamp. I will say no, we can't move on like this. Everybody has moved on. Why not COMEG? Why? And by the grace of God, the digital plan was launched on Tuesday, 1st March 2022 by the Honorable Minister, who directed that henceforth, as on that day, nobody should use the old metal sheet. So we have recorded tremendous successes, if I can put it that way. People have been coming to buy their stamp. It cost 10,000 naira for members for 24 pieces and 24,000 naira for companies for 24 pieces. Acquisition of befitting head office. This is another headache for COMEG. 30-year-old institution, there is no head office. We are working around the clock to ensure that this is done. And the minister has been with us, been working with us along this line. The Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Visitor Commission will pay us a visit Thursday this week concerning this particular issue. And we pray the visit will be a success. They want to give us some from the natural resources fund, almost 1.2 billion, so that we can move on along this line. Web high-end automated web portal internet networking solution. We are supposed to be more. Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Hello. We can hear you, sir.
We can hear you, sir.
Are you hearing me?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes, sir. We can hear you, sir.
Hello, are you hearing me now?
We can hear you, sir. We are hearing you, sir.
Sorry, that was
Prof, we can hear you.
yeah, we are on the web internet working solution. We want to get them where our members can bring their practice certificate every year online. We can't do that because of one problem. We want to get to a level to pay your money online, directly through our web. We want to get to a level you can download your form online. So we hope that this of revenue mobilization allocation and income commission, our 1.2 billion, if it comes to pass, apart from the head office acquisition, we use part of the money for web development. That's our other major problem. And as God will help us, we have an assistant director, ICT, posted to us last week by federal and by head of service He used to be in Federal Ministry of Power. Gender data of COMEG members, yes. We identify with our women, created a WhatsApp for them. They get all our information, real time, and then they have been responding. We have to encourage our ladies to come into extravagant industry. The percentage now is very, very low. 10% of our members are female. 10.2 or 10.3, 328 out of 10,000. So we want to encourage them. NMGS is also helping along these lines. Then our number of people that have been inducted, the number of people that has increased tremendously. That's among number 12 now. My time is almost past. I think I have about 10 minutes more. So the number of COMEG professional inducted and registered as practiced from inception, they are stated in 777. You will notice that there are some years that they did combine induction. 2007 in March, 3 years inductees were combined. 20 November 2012, 3 years were combined. Recently, 2019, 5 years. It's our assumed duty by the grace of God. We have been having our induction every year. And we are fixed second or third week in December as date for our induction. In 2020, 142. Last year, 214. And we hope that the number will increase this year. Another one is payment of outstanding practicing due by COMEG staff. To whom much is given, much is expected. I had rapport with them. You cannot be asking others to pay their dues when you have not paid your own. And you can't go to council to help you to offset your due, like other organizations and institutions. And they agree. And the sum of 350,000 naira were paid by 5 staff that were involved. And I took that to council, and the council graciously approved that henceforth we will assist them to offset their due. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, I'll spend the last few minutes to highlight the innovation that we brought on board to reposition COMEG. And I want to say loud and clear that the board or council actually play a major role in making all this possible. Honorable Minister Ajidaola Mileka Adekute was so wonderful. It's like COMEG is the baby of the minister. We pray that he will be with us for a longer time, more, before 2023. The staff have been wonderful as well, dedicated staff. At times we have to pull ourselves beyond limits, working late into the night, working without diesel, working without petrol, working with our own laptop. And they have stopped complaining. They have seen that we are getting results. They have seen that COMEG can be what it's supposed to be. So I give kudos to all the staff that I met on that. I used to complain about them when I was with, but they are far, far better now. Far, far better, beyond my imagination. I cannot complete this address without actually paying glowing tribute to NMGS as a professional body. When I came on board, I said, on no condition will I have friction with the leadership of NMGS. A son that doesn't respect the father is doomed to fail, because I got information that there used to be friction between the power registrar and the leadership of NMGS on flimsy things, immaterial things, irrelevant things. And I said, no, we must work together. So I want to thank Engineer Badaya Simon Wukom, the immediate past president, under his leadership, a good working relationship with NMGS ESCO. Professor Latuji, the NGM secretary, we never allow each other to rest. And also I want to conclude with Baba Alagbo Charles Chelsea, the new president. We thank God for his life. Retired but not tired. Very agile. He's been working with us. And his own able general secretary as well, Dr. Godwin Allo. We have been pulling each other beyond limits without complaint. And all NMGS members, all COMEG register members have been wonderful to support us. Ibadan chapter by chapter, you have been so wonderful. And that's why I agreed to present this seminar through my own chapter. I want to thank the indefatigable chairman, former chairman, Engineer Bolaniwa, who gave me very wonderful opportunity while coming here. He gave me a beautiful recommendation. And also want to thank the current chairman, Dr. Adegbe, the seminar coordinator, Dr. Dada. You have been wonderful. And on that note, I want to refer to Appendix A, that so many individual members of us, of COMEG, are still owing us 245,382,501 naira. An institutional member, 90,720,000. If you pay your dues, we are going to move beyond this level. Owó ni kẹ̀kẹ́ ìyìn rere. That is a Yoruba proverb. That without money, and you say, let us have meeting on the way forward, people will tell you, you can't do the meeting until money arrives. So no meeting, no meaningful meeting when money is not present. Pay your dues, pay your money, and COMEG of your dream will come on board. I thank you all for listening, and God Almighty will prosper your way. God bless.
Thank you very much, our lecturer for this webinar series, Professor Zacheus Opafunso, the COMEG registrar. That was a very wonderful and powerfully delivered lecture. We really appreciate you for honoring our invitation and for being here to tell us what COMEG has been doing for the past 2 years or thereabouts. Right now, without wasting time, we want to quickly go to the question and discussion section. We want to play with our participants that if you have question, it's either you write it, probably you type on the Zoom, or probably you ask directly. But if you have to ask directly, you need to raise your hand. But let's first of all go to the comment we have in the chat. From Dr. SLS, the strong faith is already established in your leadership. No shaking, Prof. I think that goes to Professor Opafunso. Then the next one is from Engineer Bolaniwa. There are 2 questions here. The first one is, thanks for this thoughtful, provoking lecture, sir. Please, what is COMEG doing in enforcing registration of membership of our professional staff in both the federal and state of the federation? Maybe I should go to the second one. I wouldn't know if Prof would like to answer the first question before I go to the second question. Prof, should I go ahead? Hello, Prof. Professor Opafunso.
Hello.
Yes, sir. There are questions for you here, sir.
Just go ahead.
You want me to answer this one?
Yes, sir.
Very much.
It's part of the lecture.
What is COMEG doing in enforcing registration of professional in federal and state?
That's true, sir.
Thank you very much. What we are doing is to first of all make sure that the members that have been registered are recognized as it's supposed to be. When you know people that you have registered are proud of their profession, they can practice.
Prof, are you still there? Hello, Prof.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
Okay, we are talking about how to education of our member in federal and state establishment. We are saying we are aware of that. We are saying let those that are registered now, let them be duly recognized. And we are working on that. We are almost getting there. Because the complaint all over the country is that, oh, they will give consultancy work. And when we submit our quotation as COMEG member, they will throw it off. They will pick current. They will pick environment people and a host of others. So as soon as we get our member registered, then of course we can move to that next level. So we are aware of that. We are taking it step by step.
Thank you very much, Prof. The part B of that question from Engineer Bolariwa says,
sorry,
what
Dr. Dada,
effort? Yes, sir.
Dr. Dada, please, maybe you combine those questions in 3 because of time, so that some of them may even interwoven in a way that Prof can answer them together. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. So what effort is COMEG making to ensure COMEG is a prerequisite for promotion of career officers in the mining and geosciences industry, ministry, and sectors?
Okay.
Then
for promotion, yes, thank you. For promotion in ministry and all the sectors. Yes, we have caught that, yes.
Okay, I think that those are the questions we have here. Say loud and clear, Prof, you have done well. More grace to your team elbows. We appreciate all. And then I think it's just like a commendation. I think those are the questions, few questions we have, but we don't know if we have people who would like to ask a direct question. Okay, we have Professor Maruf Adabanija. You have the floor, please.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, Prof. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. Thank you so much for this wonderful presentation. It has increased the confidence of some of us, or will I say majority of us who have been following closely your activity as the registrar. So we are very proud of you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
What I want to just put in is that I think I told you, Paragon, I wanted to tell you something that as a way of encouraging our students to actually be part of this COMEG right from their undergraduate study, that it could be nice.
The students to be part of COMEG, right on the undergraduate study.
Yes, that if you can have induction for them at the point of graduation. One.
Yeah, point of graduation induction, yes.
Yes, point of graduation induction for all our students in tertiary institutions. It's going to encourage them, one. Secondly, it gives them that sense of belonging. Then 3, it's going to, as a form of revenue for COMEG as well. Because some other professional bodies like COREN, they do it for their students at the point of graduation. Pharmaceutical School also did it. So also the Nigerian Medical School. So they all do it for their students. So if we can also adopt the same approach here, I think it will be better for it. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, please let me quickly, the chairman, let me quickly respond to that. We have taken this to council, it has been approved. We have taken it to NMGS council, it has been approved, but with amendments. So what the NMGS council, we don't have a problem with COMEG council on this. What the NMGS council, some notable members are saying, is that don't go ahead and induct students, contrary to the act. And we are being careful of that. Then don't go and induct people who they will take the certificate and said, and that's why they are not going to register in future. So we have been careful and we have sent the form across to our member to make suggestions, the certificate, proposed certificate. And necessary amendments have been made. So their own induction is not like the normal induction as stated in the act. But the act also allows us, as circumstances demand, to be able to do certain things, which is exactly what we are doing. So what we have problem with is the error from the Nigerian Security and Printing Organization. On 2 occasions, we put it as induction of students into COMEG mentorship. And on 2 occasions, they changed the mentorship to membership. So we are on that. So that there will be differentiate that from the professional certificate given to member. We are going to go around school. We have done that. And there have been questions. When are we going to go? Because of strike. We only go to that as soon as Senate approve their results. And then they have their week. Then they will invite COMEG. And our NMGS leaders will be there to be able to bring them on board. So we introduce COMEG to them as soon as they graduate before NYSC. And then this COMEG recognition will also be a morale booster for us to be able to go with confidence. So we are working on that. The other one is about the promotion of our members in the ministry and state. We have had questions coming from our members. I will mention 2 now for purpose of record. Federal Polytechnic Ilaru, and we have attended to that. A member was being denied his promotion because they say it doesn't belong to a recognized regulatory body. We wrote a letter to support it. It's okay now. We also have issue with the Nigerian Metallurgical Institute, I think it's in Jos. That we have also attended to it. That one, the candidate was not qualified even to be member of COMEG ab initio. So we couldn't go forward. So we have been adding to issue as it comes. But this individual issue will come to an end the moment we get COMEG recognized by a council on establishment. And then it will be gazetted. Just the same method we did to get our consultancy scale of fee approved by FEC. Just the way we are moving our COMEG Act to National Assembly. So everything out is good, individual route. So when you master it, then you'll be able to know what to do. The COMEG recognition was delayed. And I would like to say this everywhere I am, because we had a council member who misled us into starting wrongly. But with my legal training now, God is helping us to do the things right, and the support of key members in NMGS. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Prof. We have our respected Professor Taiwo Ajayi. He has been raising up his hand. Sir, you have the floor.
Professor Taiwo Ajayi, you are welcome, sir.
Professor Taiwo Ajayi. Professor Tiara Ajayi.
Professor Ajayi from Osun State University, we are listening.
Okay. Okay. Probably we go to the next person. We have our chairman.
I'm on.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Professor Ajayi, we are welcome, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. We appreciate all you have been doing and the progress you have made so far, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Quickly, is this issue of association of borehole drillers? And you know that, yeah, borehole drillers. Those are the association of drillers, addition of drillers. Hello.
Hello, Prof. Professor,
are you hearing me? Yes. Yes, I'm talking now.
Okay.
Hello.
Professor Opafunso, are you still with us?
Can you hear me?
We are trying to get in touch with him.
Oh, yeah.
Professor Opafunso, are you still with us, sir?
It's like he's having network problems.
Hello, are you hearing?
He's back now.
Okay.
All right.
Hello.
Prof, yes, are you back?
Yes, I'm online now.
Okay, thank you, sir. I was asking this question about the association of the drillers, borehole drillers.
Yes, that word drop.
Association of borehole drillers.
That's the acronym, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know that a lot of them are just in the drilling profession, most of them are not even geologists. And
They are not.
What are we doing as COMEG to regulate? Because their work has impact on we as professionals. And some of the reports from the field are not favorable at all. So what is the effort of COMEG in that direction, sir? Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir. We are working along that line. We are aware of the headache they are creating. When I assumed duty, the leadership led by Mr. Lee, a COMEG register member, led a delegation to my office, and we discussed at length. Some of the leaders are COMEG register. Majority of members are not. And we say, let's get around this and be able to now see what can be done so that we can regulate the industry. Members that are qualified are supposed to actually update their company record and individual record with COMEG and pick our digital stamp to use. Then the others, in line with mining regulation, you set up a company, whatever name by it comes, mining related, extractive industry related. There should be our members on board as director or at worst as member to be able to now say this is what we are doing and be our eyes and nose in that place. The vice president visited me about 3 weeks ago. He's from Ondo State. I talked to him this morning. You people should come back. Let's discuss. However, there are issues with them. Their organization, their professional body is not recognized by NMGS. And the way they are going, there is no way, there is no provision for COMEG to recognize them as an institution. It's an individual thing. But sir, I'm glad to report they are feeling the heat now because the vice president came to my office 3 weeks ago and said, Oga, this digital stamp is affecting us. So we need to come and buy digital stamp. I said, yes. Those people that are qualified are COMEG registered members that are up to date in their payment. Company registered by COMEG are the ones that are qualified. He said, what's the procedure? I said, we can either go by normal registration or executive registration. He said, sir, I'm going to take this to our member and they're going to come back to us. So we are discussing, sir, informally. And we hope we are going to get results.
Well done, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Dr. Deda, 3 people are still raising up their hands.
Dr. Deda, we are not hearing you.
Gafa Oniyide, you have the floor. Gafa Oniyide.
Okay, thank you.
From Botswana.
Thank you, Prof, for the thought-provoking lecture. Really appreciate your effort. It's not surprising to some of us because we know what you have been doing and we know what we can do. The question that I have is, is it possible for like maybe PhD students or graduates of mining or geosciences that are outside the country to register with COMEG? Does COMEG has a provision for such?
Yeah, thank you. Let me just answer quickly. We have started our online examination. It is held once a year. And then people, they can register, fill their form, they can scan the form to me, and then they pay the necessary fee online. And then in October, we have the online registration. We have both the physical and online. And we have been registering people. People have attended our interview from the corner of their room, from London, from Ukraine, from Russia, from South Korea, South Africa. So every October, we have our online exam.
Thank you, Prof. Okay, we go to the next person, Mafwaye. Mafwaye, you have the floor.
That's the past president, Jim.
Oh, Okay. Oh, sir, please. I'm very sorry, please. I'm just going by what the name I can see.
Yeah, he's using his iPhone.
Yes, sir. Sir, you have the floor, sir. Our father, Paul Rife. Hello, sir.
Chief Oribe, we are welcome, sir.
Okay. Maybe it's the network.
Chairman, probably you ask your own question.
Yeah, let me also join others to thank COMEG registrar for a job well done. I will still come back to appreciate you, but just a clarification. In the course of your presentation, sir, you on this digital stamp, you said members will pay 10,000 and non-members 24,000. I don't really understand.
No. Corporate member 24,000.
Okay.
That is company registered with COMEG 24,000.
Okay.
The individual like you 10,000. So when you are signing recommendation letter to South African University, you put your seal.
Okay.
Don't sign signature again without your seal.
Because that would have taken me back to wardrobe. That
no. Your reference letter that you give to your students, put your seal there against your signature. When they are going to Harvard, when they are going to Manchester, what is it? All the other Oxford.
Okay.
Then we move to the next. We have Tanmo Chakraborty.
Yeah, I'm Tanmo. Hello, Professor. We have met before.
Hello, how are you, Mr. Tanmo? How are you?
I'm good, Professor, and good to hear you today for the session and the extremely wonderful work that COMEG is doing. I just have a small questions among all the professors who have presented here and your direct views. So now Nigeria is seeing few foreign investors. So what is the plan of COMEG, or how can COMEG help or assist the foreign investors? What help can we get from COMEG? Because we are into steel, power, and also mining. So how can COMEG now helping, or they can have some plan to help the foreign investors?
Hello?
Yes. Can you hear my question? Did you hear my question?
Hello?
Yes. Did you hear my question, Professor?
Can you repeat it again?
How can COMEG, or what is COMEG's plan to assist the foreign investors?
No, we have done that. We created the executive route to register their company. And that is, you don't need to wait for 1 year to get your certificate. Within 2 weeks, your certificate is ready. Provided you have a COMEG registered member who is a Nigerian working your company. That is the law.
Yes.
And that person must be competent as at what we require today. Because the law asks us to upgrade our standard from time to time.
Right.
We must be a competent COMEG registered member.
And I would also request you, Professor, that going forward in future, how can COMEG also help us in terms of technical papers, technicalities, and also to engage in both ways, so that COMEG can help us, and we are also working on the field, and we can also give some input to the...
Yeah, that's what we are doing. The certificates are ready within 2 weeks. If there is no deadline concerning COMEG registered member, we can register company when our member are not being employed, either as director or working full-time there. That's what the law says. It's COMEG Act that applies there.
Okay,
the Mining Act also applied, 2007, also applied here.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you.
The local content law also applies here.
Right, exactly. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Opafunso. Before we call in the chairman of the chapter for his vote of thanks, I just quickly want to ask this question. Is actually one of the participants is asking. Highlight on the HND and B engineer or BSc membership requirement. That is, some HND holders are registered as engineer instead of technology without postgraduate PGD in mining engineering, etc. I don't know, but that is one of the
I replied that immediately.
Okay.
You see, we upgrade standards from time to time. And in those days, when COMEG started, the registration was basically bring your HND, bring your BSc, and you are registered. It happened both for NMGS and even COMEG. And NMGS, over the time, review whatever the criteria are, ditto for COMEG, in line with existing regulation and law in Nigeria. Not only COMEG law. As at now, the standard has been upgraded so that we meet up with what is happening, best international practice. And the regulation is clear. You want to register as an engineer, you must have your HND and PGD in the same area. I give you an example. You have HND in mining engineering. You must have your PGD in mining engineering. You have your HND in metallurgical engineering. You must have your PGD in metallurgical engineering. That makes you to be competent. Then if it is HND geological engineering, it must be PGD geological engineering. I give you an example. You come here with your HND geological engineering and you via to PGD water resources engineering, you will not be registered because you are not competent in one particular area. And don't forget, we are looking for AMREC. That is this African development, something that we are going to join the police all over the world to certify reports. Like we have the Australian group, you have the Canadian group doing the certification. African Union is working on that. We cannot like it. It's not that people are not good, but some of them have made mistakes. When you have HND in mining engineering, you wait for some time, you cannot get a job. You go and do HND in environmental. You go and do MSc in rural development. You come to COMEG now to register. It's not possible. In those days, yes, but not now. And we have told them, go and take your PGD in relevant area for you to represent company, for you to be competent, and for you to join the League of Nations. For information, sir, Korean, who is our competitor, if I can make it, they are no more take PGD, they take master degree. So we are still on PGD. And most of all we ask us, what are you doing? You must be like Korean. You must be like Akon. Akon take master degree only. Akon, master degree only. BSc master. You have BSc, no. So the normal thing is that you have your HND, go and top it up with PGD to be equivalent to BSc. HND, by all standards, for registration to practice, it differs. Go and check all professional bodies. We cannot be an exception. HND, you register as technologies. All professional body in Nigeria. But when you top it up, then you become mining engineer, you become electrical engineer, whatever it is. So that's the story for now.
Hello. I want to make some comments, please. Can I be allowed?
Okay,
can I be allowed to make a comment?
Please, who is speaking, please?
Professor Bassi from State University.
Okay, Professor Obasi. Okay, you have the floor. Please, can you make it very snappy?
Yes, I will. Somebody asked, the registrar, I appreciate your lecture. It's very good of you, a good friend of mine. Now, the Ekiti State unit of Nigerian Mining and Geosciences had a committee that is discussing about these borehole drillers that are not qualified. Now, our question is that how can we stop those people that are not qualified and who are already in the field, dominating every part of the state with their drillers? They have the money, they have the drilling machine, but they're not qualified. They're not geologists. They're not mining engineers. How do you stop them from working? That is the question that we have. We wanted to have a meeting with the registrar, a discussion with the registrar from a state unit. So, but now it has come up. What do we do? How do we stop them from working? That's the question.
Yes, I've answered that, but I will repeat it. What we are doing here as the regulator is to take it one step after the other.
Okay.
The first step to knock them off is to introduce the digital stamp.
Okay.
And when you seal your report, with digital stamp, your name is there as registered geophysicist, registered geology, registered mining engineer with your number. Okay. And then that report goes out to different government officials to be able to certify. Now, we are also working to make sure the council and establishment recognize our COMEG registered members. So it's beyond all of us to be able to propagate this gospel. And the way we are going is to be able to now register all our members, get a database for all of them at the federal, state, and local government level. That's one I reported first. So it becomes easy for us to be able to do, for instance, in those states. You are getting a report on whatever to the state government, or like most life, important cause on this or that. Then the question will be, I remember that the guy to ask the question, sorry of that, where is your seal as given by COMEG? That would be a particular point, but to be able to say no, there are some people that are recognized, there are some that are not. Now, so the people that are really for private properties, and they are moving around, so long as those reports are written by our member, they will seal it up. But if they are written by a non-member, it becomes difficult for us to know. It's not behold on our members who are around that place, that way, to be able to write us, come. I have seen this written by somebody who doesn't do the digital seal, as approved by the minister. Then we can pick it up, we see him to court, and then we'll be able to now use it as an example. Like the Chinese, our port at the mining field in Osun, that they use the example for that. We are looking for that example somewhere. But if we don't report them to us, there is no way we can see everywhere all over the federation. So that's the issue. We must be proactive. We must own this particular society. We must take it as our own, and then be able to say, nobody will come and spoil the industry for us. The industry must be better. That should be our sixth from this moment. And it's all of us that I will challenge to key to that. Bring people to COMEG. I have led that training. They will see what we make out of them. We publicize it, and then of course, they will know they are in trouble. If we use one or two of them as an example, it can come from Ondo, it can come from it, can come from Ibadan. But we are looking for people that will use as scapegoats. And you must bring them. We have set up a panel for somebody here who drip all and I receive petition. He said to us, of course, he quickly come around and sorry that we have said. That's the way it works. He drip all, he didn't touch any water. They wrote us. I asked the lawyer to write it straight. He came to my office panting. And he said, after 2 or 3 days, he said, sir, we have said to. I said, let him come in that you have said. If they didn't report to us, there is nothing we can do. Just bring them. Give us their list. Give us their data. That's why they report their phone number. You might not get email. The phone number is enough for us. The court procedure now in Nigeria, they recognize the use of electronic mail, including WhatsApp. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Opas.
Thank you, Professor Opas. God bless you.
Yeah, thank you, my brother.
Professor Opafunso, we are very, very grateful to you. It's really been wonderful listening to you. So on this note, I want to welcome the chapter chairman, Dr. Adeibe, for the vote of thanks as we round up this webinar series.
Yeah, thank you, the vice chairman and the technical committee chair too. I want to appreciate our guest lecturer, Professor Zacheus Opafunso, for a wonderful job that he's doing in COMEG and the output that we are seeing all around us. We know there is still more to be done, but a step at a time has shown that this work will come, we bring something positive onto all the members. And so we really appreciate you. When we're thinking of who to call for our second virtual presentation. Your name kept propping up in my mind. And the reason being that Ibadan chapter being the largest chapter, we have been receiving questions about what COMEG is doing for us. We try to explain, but it seems our explanation is not getting to the expected whatever. So I said, no problem. The registrar himself will come. He will address us. We'll be able to ask him questions. And you have done justice to our essence of bringing you on board. So on behalf of the entire chapter, the executive, I want to thank you, sir, for answering us, for accepting our invitation in spite of your busy schedule and tight, programs you have on you. We pray the Lord himself will continue to uplift you and to strengthen you in Jesus' name. Again, I want to thank all our senior people. I can see people that join us from outside the country, people that join us outside the chapter, Lagos, Abuja, Nasarawa. I can see members that I know personally that join us. Our special note, I want to recognize the past president, Mr. Jim Urifi, FNMGS, for being part of this program. Our former vice president, Professor Tiara Jayi, FNMGS, for being part of the program, and all other fellows of the society and some of the companies that join us. We want to appreciate you. See, when you came up with this idea of us, through the chapter registry member, is the reason why I said that's a task that we must do to support this move that you are making, so that this thing can come out and all our people in the ministry, as well as the private practice, even those of us in the university, can benefit maximally. And I can tell you, as of today, over 180 members have already registered with us, and we're going to forward the list to you very soon. By the end of this month, we will forward the first tranche of the meeting of the names. Vice Chairman.
My chairman, are you still there?
No, I'm here.
Okay, sir. We are listening to you.
So what I'm saying in essence is just thanking the chairman. I've said virtually everything that I want to say, but at the same time, I want to use this opportunity to inform our members to please attend the meeting that is coming up in Ado-Ekiti on Thursday, so that we can judge and look at what these the matters arising from this lecture, and see how Ibadan chapter can leverage on it and do something meaningful for our members within the chapter. So thank you, sir, and God bless you.
On this note, we are bringing to an end the particular webinar series, and I really want to appreciate every participant who have been around since the beginning of this series lecture. We really appreciate you for your time, and we hope that the next one that will be coming, you also be around to participate. We really appreciate you for being around. Thank you very much. We appreciate our guests, our lecturer for today. Thank you very much, our Professor Zacheus Opafunso. On this note, we want to say bye-bye to everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a nice one.
Yeah.
Hello. I want to thank everybody for coming. God bless all of you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye now.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, my registrar, thank you, sir.
For the first time, my picture just...
Chevy. My prof, my registrar.